All right, everyone. It's hard to believe it, but it is the last session of the day, and it's been a wonderful day so far. But don't be sad. Let's save our enthusiasm and give all of it to our next speaker, who's from RevTrack. His name is Joshua, and he's going to talk to us about CAP runtime plugins in Java.
Hello. Yes, I'm going to be running through just how to make like a basic soft delete plugin and using the IntelliJ debugger to inspect the context and all the properties on the entities. And it'll be quite similar to how you would with the cap.js REPL as well. And I'm not going to go over the, how to set up the plugin or anything. It's just going to be the implementation. With that being said, we'll just jump straight into it then. So I've got some services already created here, an admin service and an audit log service. And the idea is we're going to put a custom annotation on this books entity, which will give us the soft deleting capabilities. And yeah, when it's got that on it and it sees a delete, it's just going to update a field so that it knows it's been soft deleted and then hide it at runtime as well. And the audit log service is the same thing, but it's just going to be displaying it, and it's going to display all of the entities, including the soft deleted ones as well. Simple as. If you want to look at the model, we can do that too. It's just pretty basic. Just an ID and a title, and the same with the notes entity as well. Cool, all right. We'll just go straight to it then. Also, I'm going to do a lot of bad practices here, so don't use this in production. Unless you want, that would be interesting. But cool. All right, well, first thing we'll do is we'll start up our application. And we'll implement the delete portion of it. So first thing we'll do is just chuck down a debug point. Oops. And then over here we've got our admin service on the left. I don't know why I had to look. And then we've got our audit log service on the right. So first thing we'll do is we'll just trigger the delete method. Cool, and so from here, what we'll want to do first is probably check that the entity we're deleting has actually got that annotation on it, because this is a global handler, which again you shouldn't do. In practice, what you should actually be doing is when the plugin loads, checking for entities that have that annotation and then registering the handler directly on it. For time though, we're just going to do a global one for now at least. All right, so using the evaluator, the first thing we're going to do is inspect the target entity. And from here, we can actually use this annotations method, which will just display a list of annotations that are on the method, pretty self-explanatory. So with this, if you've never done runtime plugins or anything, it can be quite useful just to have a look at what the annotations actually look like, because they don't have to be booleans in CDS, CAP, sorry. They can actually just be strings or arrays as well. And it's quite hard to read, so I might actually just drop that into a string with the key and the value. Oops. Okay, it's a bit better to read. So you can see we've got our soft deleted annotation on this entity here, which is true. So from here, what we can do is use this find annotations method and then look for it. And this returns an optional, so if it's not there, it'll just be an empty optional. And what we're going to do is just get the value from it. And if it's not there, if it's not there, we're just going to return false. And because this is Java and they can technically be any type, we're just going to have to cast it to a Boolean as well. And so you can see here on this entity it's true because the annotation's there. And because this is all done in the debugger and this is all valid Java code, you can actually just drop this directly into your application. And this works for this regular cap Java as well. It doesn't have to be in a plugin. So we'll just make a new thing and new Boolean, sorry. And if it doesn't have that annotation, we'll just do an early return. Cool. So now, once it gets to this point where this print statement is, we know it's got the annotation, so we can override the delete logic. So what we'll do is we'll just prevent any deletes on the entity, and we're just going to use the result builder for that. And with this, you can just create just any result you want. You can fake deleted rows or whatever you want. And then in the context, we do have to remember to set the result as well. Otherwise, it doesn't do anything. And set it to completed. Cool. So now, at this point, what should happen is when we delete something, it should just disappear for a second because it thinks it's deleted, and then refresh the page, because once an entity has been modified in Fiori elements, it likes to re-get the list of them just to check if any values are updated. So we can see that it worked. Our deletion did not actually delete anything. So the next thing we're going to try and do is try and set that Boolean soft deleted field to true. So again, we'll just trigger the debugger again. Cool. And now from here, what you can do is you can actually get a list of services directly from the context. And if you wanted to run this on like the persistent service, for example, you could just get it from here. In our case, we don't really need to. We can just use the same service. So we'll just do that because it's easier. And what we'll do to start with is try and get the keys out of the entity that's being deleted. So with this, we can use the CQN analyzer. And this is another practice that probably isn't really a production grade solution that we're making, but that's fine. So with this, we can just analyze the CQN that's coming in, and from there you can actually see that it just dumps the CQN into this result here. And from that, what we can do is get the target values, which are going to be those keys that we want. So in this case, it's just an ID. And we know it's always going to be an ID because we control this app, so that's fine. But in practice, what you probably should do is stream them all, and then there is some documentation on Kapaya about then combining them together and creating this predicate. But again, for speed, we're just going to assume that it's always going to be ID and just get the ID. And again, Java code, so we can just dump it in. And a lot of this actually works on deployed apps as well. If you're running on like Cloud Foundry and you've got SSH enabled, you can then just attach the debugger and do pretty much the same thing at runtime. It's not quite as robust, like you can't add methods and all that and imports at runtime, but you can still do like CQN statements and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. Don't do that in production either, though. Cool. So now we've got our ID, and we will trigger another debug point. Oops. Cool. So from here, now we can actually update that field. So, oh, did I not reload it? Whoops. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so now we can run whatever CQN statements we want. Select from, and we'll just select from the target entity, and then dump our where clause in, that's just selecting by ID. And with the debugger, you can actually add watches as well, which is quite nice for checking if stuff's updated. So what we're going to do is we're going to have this watch here, and then write another statement that'll actually do the update and to prove that it works before we actually change any code. Cool. So you can see here it's got it. It's got that soft deleted field. It's set to false. So the next step is going to be updating that. So we'll just do a standard update. And there's not really a whole lot that needs to change from the select. We just need to give it the data that it needs to update. Oops. And you can just provide a map for that as well. I do have a constant for the name of the property that we added as well. So now we've run our little update statement in the evaluator. And if we scroll down to our select statement, you can see it's actually gone and swapped it over to true for that field. Cool, so now if we go back to our app, and I'll just turn on that soft deleted field as well. And you can see when we delete something, it should just swap that soft deleted field to true automatically. There we go. Cool, all right, so that's the first part of it done. The next part of it is going to be hiding stuff that's got that soft deleted field as true. And this part I'm not going to do so much with the debugger, but I am going to use some of the nice features in IntelliJ to give us type hints. So like before, we're going to have to check if that annotation is there. And if it's not, then just do nothing. So I'm just going to copy paste that just for speed. So at this point, we know that it's got the annotation again. So what we can do is tack stuff on to the end of the where clause. So there's this method here called cql.copy, and what it'll do is it'll take the original CQL statement, and then you can make any modifications to it that you want. So in our case, we just want to add an and to the where clause. So when you do this, it's going to come up with a list of all the different stuff you can override on the CQN statement. There's quite a lot here. I don't know what half of them do. I'm sure they're all useful though. But we just want to modify the where clause, so we'll just select that. And from here, there's two states that the where clause can be in. If it's like selecting from a list or something like that, it can actually be null. So, if the where clause is not null, we will tack on an and statement, and we'll just check. Get entities that have that soft delete field set to false. And if it is null, we will just return that directly. Oh, whoops. So when we swap back to our app and delete something, you can see it's actually still showing those soft deleted entries, and that's because we haven't assigned the CQL statement to the assigned the new CQL statement to the context. Oh, whoops. All right. So now when we reload and refresh the page, it should automatically hide those soft deleted fields. But if we check our audit log, they should also still appear there, aside from the one that we deleted before we had implemented it. So from here, if we restart our application, which will just refresh all the entries that are coming from CSVs, we'll get all our entries back, and we can start deleting stuff. Oh, and I'll just refresh the audit log as well. So you can see it appears to be deleted from there, but if we look at our audit log, they're still there. And because the notes entity does not have that annotation, it's still going to delete as normal. If we go to the audit log, you can see it's updated there, they're not there. And because this is implemented generically, we can just drop that. We should be able to just drop that annotation onto that notes entity now, and also extend that notes entity with the soft deleted field, and it should just work as the books entity does. So you do have to recompile the model after doing that, unless you're using one of the fancy CDS auto rebuild stuff commands, but I'm not doing that at the moment. Cool. Oh, and I'll need to restart it. All right, so from here, now we should expect the same functionality that we've got on our books for our notes entity. So if we just delete everything, you can see it's not deleted from our audit log. And, oh, it doesn't have the, oh, sorry, I have to refresh, I think. Yeah. And you can also check if that field has been set to soft deleted or not. Yeah, so that's the basic overview of how you can kind of inspect the context and all that, and figure out what annotations are on entities and all that sort of thing. Yeah. And then, yeah, if you have any feedback, you can feel free to scan the QR code. I thought it was kind of cool that you can display JPEGs in IntelliJ. I didn't know that. Yeah.
We still have 2 minutes for questions if there are any questions here. If not, please join me in giving our speaker one more round of applause. Thank you very much for your session, and I will now hand it over to the CAP Orga team for the closing.